What's up guys, it's Aaronitmar. It has been a full year since the last Smash Ultimate Costume Origins video, and that frankly is just insane to me. It feels like just yesterday that I was doing that series. And of course at the end of it, I said that I would be back when the full Fighter's Pass was revealed, and wouldn't you know it, we finally have the entire pass out. So, your boy is back and talking about Smash Ultimate's Fighter Pass Costume Origins. By the way, if you haven't already, please be sure to hit that subscribe button. The first character we're jumping in with is, of course, the out-of-left-field first DLC fighter, Piranha Plant. Now, I know, Plant isn't technically a part of the Fighter's Pass, but he's a DLC character, and when I was making the series originally, he wasn't out yet, so I felt like this was the most appropriate video to place him in. The design for the Piranha Plant is based on its more modern incarnation, though it's had several different redesigns across the years. The first costume slot is also sitting in a flower pot. While this design for Smash is largely taken from Super Mario 3D World, the earliest appearance of a potted Piranha Plant is actually the Mario Party 3 minigame Storm Chasers. The next color is a green plant with yellow spots and a mostly yellow stem and leaves, based on the very first appearance of the Piranha Plant enemy in Super Mario Bros. Additionally, every even-numbered costume sits in a pipe rather than a flower pot. In this costume's case, it actually furthers the reference to the original Super Mario Bros., where Piranha Plants could only be found coming out of pipes. The third color slot is a yellow Piranha Plant, which is a color multiple variations of plants have had in the Mario game history. Wild Patooey Piranhas in Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island have this color after being hit the first time. There's a yellow plant in the Piranha Panic minigame of Mario Superstar Baseball, and the Glad Piranha Plant from Super Princess Peach all have this color scheme. Fourth is the pink plant, which sits in a blue pipe. This pink color is the appearance of the Piranha Creeper, a type of piranha plant that extends and retracts with a huge spiked stem. The earliest appearance of this plant is Super Mario 3D World. The blue pipe is one of the many common pipe colors in the Mario series, found in countless games that feature the plumbers. Next up is a black piranha plant. While black piranha plants have appeared in past games, this specific plant comes from the inky piranha plant, which was first introduced in Super Mario 3D Land. Following that is a gray piranha plant, which is a color scheme based on the bone piranha plant, which made their first appearance in New Super Mario Bros. 2. However, those plants are entirely skeletal, while this plant still has some leafy foliage, which makes sense as this is just a palette swap rather than a full-on alternate costume. The yellow pipe that this plant sits in is also another color of pipe found throughout the Mario series. Next is a purple piranha plant, which first appeared in the Piranha Panic minigame in Mario Superstar Baseball. Additionally, we've seen a few other purple plants in Mario. The big bungee piranha in Yoshi's Island also has this color scheme, as does the spiny piranha plant in Super Mario Galaxy. Lastly is a blue piranha plant, again with a primarily yellow stem and leaves. This is vaguely based on the piranha plants that can be found in the underground segments of Super Mario Bros. While the colors of the sprite don't exactly match up, the sprite is meant to be underground, so the lack of light can explain the strange coloration. Additionally, the stems match with both the sprite from the game as well as the earlier costume on this list, which is also based on Super Mario Bros. Now let's talk about the first official character on the Fighter's Pass, which is Joker from Persona 5. His default appearance and general design is of course as Joker, the Phantom Thief of Heart. When Joker summons Arsene, the mask that he wears disappears in both his in-game model and his battle HUD. The first color scheme is purple, which is based on Revelation's Persona. Each Persona game typically follows a generalized color scheme and designs their UI, box art, and things like that around that color, and Revelation's Persona utilized quite a bit of purple. Following this pattern, Joker's blue outfit is based on the signature color of Persona 3. You could also potentially tie this color scheme to the Velvet Room Attendants, a recurring role and setting in the Persona series. The yellow color scheme comes from the recurring color of Persona 4, and the red scheme is from Joker's own home game, Persona 5. But P5 isn't the first game that has utilized red as a common color, as Persona 2 also used it as its theme. Joker's sixth and final Phantom Thief outfit is the only one that's properly based on a character from Persona 5. Goro Akechi, also known by his codename Crow, is a temporary member of the Phantom Thieves, and that is where this costume comes from. But Joker does have a full alternate costume, which is based on his Shujin Academy school uniform, which is pretty much his everyday clothing in Persona 5. Instead of wearing and losing his mask to summon Arsene, a pair of glasses fill this role. Lastly is a white variation of this school uniform. While a white variant of this blazer is never actually seen in Persona 5, Joker does have a summer uniform that he wears that this color comes from. The second Fighter Pass character is Hero, who's a conglomeration of 4 different heroes from the Dragon Quest series crammed into a single character slot. This makes Hero unique in that rather than having 8 different colors all with their own references, the 4 different characters each only have 1 alternate color with a reference. The first hero is the Luminary, who's the protagonist of Dragon Quest XI Echoes of an Elusive Age, also known as Dragon Quest XI's Echoes of an Elusive Age Definitive Edition if you're playing on the Switch. The default name for this hero is 11. Next is the hero from Dragon Quest III, The Seeds of Salvation. While many will call him Erdrick, this name is actually a title given to the many legendary heroes throughout the Dragon Quest series. Fans will typically refer to this hero both by the title and name of Erdrick, but in the hero presentation, Mr. Sakurai states that his default name is Arusu. Dragon Quest III also has a gender option, so the hero from that game can also be a female who looks very similar in appearance and clothing. The next slot is taken up by the hero from Dragon Quest IV Chapters of the Chosen, and his default name is Solo. This game too had a gender option, letting the player play as either Solo or his female counterpart, Sophia. The final hero comes from Dragon Quest VIII Journey of the Cursed King. His default name is, fittingly, 8. This hero doesn't have a female counterpart, but he does have a cute little mouse buddy named Munchie hanging out in his pocket. 11's alternate color gives him white hair and a red outfit, which is based on a character from a totally different Dragon Quest game. This appearance comes from Angelo, who appears in Dragon Quest VIII. Erdrick's alternate color resembles the hero from Dragon Quest V, Madison. He of course appears alongside the other protagonists in the hero's final smash. Solo's alternate color likewise is based off of another hero, the hero from the very first Dragon Quest game, Aleph. While Solo's default appearance has him wearing earrings with the slime enemy on them, this costume gives him silver earrings, which is a reference to the metal slime enemy. And lastly is 8's alternate color, which gives him white hair with a blue outfit. This comes from Terry, one of the party members that's recruited in Dragon Quest VI Realms of Revelation. Alright, now it's time for my personal favorite character, both on the Fighter Pass and just in general. The third slot of the Fighter Pass goes to Banjo and Kazooie. Banjo and Kazooie's designs in Smash Ultimate are a modernization of their classic look from the Nintendo 64 days. They look very close to the various promotional art done for Banjo Kazooie and Tooie, while they obviously looked more polygonal and blocky in-game. The first recolor turns Banjo pink and gives Kazooie a kind of orange tint. This pink skin is often said to match Mumbo Jumbo's skin color, though it's much easier to see this comparison using Mumbo's Nuts and Bolts design rather than his classic look. Likewise, Kazooie in Nuts and Bolts is a bit more on the orange side, which could be a link for her appearance in this costume as well. The next set of colors gives Banjo black fur and makes Kazooie blue with purple accents. Banjo also gets red shorts and a yellow backpack. This appearance is based on Bottles, the mole from Banjo Kazooie that teaches you all of your moves. Kazooie's blue appearance could be based on one of the colors from Banjo Tooie's multiplayer mode, while the purple accents are original to Smash. Their fourth color slightly alters the color of Banjo's fur, makes Kazooie entirely purple, and swaps the default colors of Banjo's shorts and backpack. I've looked online and this costume actually seems to have some conflicting opinions about what it could be referencing. There are some who say it references Tootie, with the backpack being a reference to her blonde hair and Kazooie referencing her shorts. But honestly, that connection seems very loose at best to me. Others have said Banjo's reddish fur is a reference to Conker the Squirrel, but if that was the case, I'd say that the reference is very bad, as Conker is a bright orange and this barely looks even kind of red. Personally, I just think that this is a Smash original for Banjo. However, Kazooie's color scheme comes from two different places. Purple was yet another color that could be used in Banjo Tooie's multiplayer mode, and it was also the color of an imprisoned Breagle from the Game Boy Advance game Banjo Kazooie Grunty's Revenge. The next costume is far more straightforward. It turns Banjo all white and makes Kazooie black with white accents. Banjo is a reference to Boggy the Polar Bear, a recurring character throughout the series. While Kazooie isn't a reference to anything specifically from her original series, she was given the color scheme of a real-life penguin to complement Banjo's polar bear appearance. The next costume makes Banjo and Kazooie pretty much all yellow. Banjo's yellow fur comes from one of the alternate colors from Tooie's multiplayer when multiple people play as Banjo. The dark yellow Kazooie could be a lot of things. It might be a reference to Gobi the camel or Terry the pterodactyl, or the whole costume together could simply be a reference to a Jiggy. Or they simply could have made Kazooie yellowish just to match Banjo. The 7th costume makes Banjo blue and Kazooie a slightly different shade of red than her usual color. This is a reference to both the split-up pads in Banjo-Tooie and the Banjo Kazooie logo as a whole. Banjo and Kazooie could act individually after using the split-up pads, with Banjo's pad being blue and Kazooie's being red. Of course, the color of those pads comes from the game's logo, where Banjo's name's in blue and Kazooie's is in red, so it all just kinda ties back to the logo. And lastly is of course the infamous Gruntilda skin. Banjo's fur is made black to match her clothing, while his skin is made green to match her skin. His eyes are even made yellow to match Gruntilda's, which is actually the only costume to mess with Banjo's eyes. Meanwhile, Kazooie, Banjo's pants, and his necklace are all made varying shades of purple in order to match Gruntilda's scarf. The 4th character on the Fighter Pass is Terry Bogard from the Fatal Fury series, as well as a regular in the King of Fighters series. Mr. Sakurai revealed in his showcase of Terry that his alternate colors combine many elements from various media Terry's appeared in, which makes for a couple of appearances that can be considered totally unique to Super Smash Bros. Terry's design has evolved a number of times throughout the Fatal Fury and King of Fighters series, but the design selected for Smash is primarily based on his look in early King of Fighters games. His 2nd costume turns his vest, cap, and shoes to be blue while making his jeans a more blue-green color. This blue color is a possible alternate color available in a huge number of King of Fighters and Fatal Fury games, and it's a staple for Terry to have. Following this is a brown outfit, which is a mixture of 2 different appearances Terry's had. In King of Fighters 12 and 13, Terry has a familiar appearance, but it removes the Fatal Fury logo from his hat, which this costume in Smash also does. The brown color also comes from one of Terry's regular palette swaps that he has in his huge library of games. After that is an outfit that makes his vest, hat, and shoes green, and makes his jeans yellowish-brown. His cap also has no logo in this costume as well. This color scheme is based on one that he has in King of Fighters 2002. Next up is a brighter version of his default appearance. Everything is just a bit more saturated. This costume is based on his design from the earliest Fatal Fury games. In those games, his cap has the Neo Geo logo on it, and likewise, this costume in Smash has the Neo Geo logo as well. Terry's next costume turns his hat, vest, and shoes black, which is one of his palette swaps from Real Bout 2 Fatal Fury. His hat in this costume also has King of Fighters written on it, which is a part of his design from both Fatal Fury 3 and Real Bout Fatal Fury. The 7th costume is also a black one, though every aspect of his clothing is sent to the dark side this time. This is a possible color that Terry can have in King of Fighters 98. His cap in this costume has a metal plate over the front, which comes from Terry's appearance in the trilogy of Fatal Fury anime movies, where he has that on his hat for one reason or another. The final costume makes Terry's vest, cap, and shoes yellow while making his jeans gray. This is yet another palette swap available in King of Fighters 14. The cap again has a different design, this time reading Southtown Hungry Wolf, which is a parallel to what his cap also reads in King of Fighters 14. And lastly, whether you like it or not, the 5th slot on the Fighter's Pass goes to Byleth from Fire Emblem Three Houses. Byleth is the avatar character that the player controls during their time in Three Houses. Every odd-numbered costume slot features male Byleth, while every even-numbered costume slot features female Byleth. The first true alternate color is for male Byleth, which is a blue outfit that changes his hair blonde. This is the color scheme of Dimitri, the leader of the Blue Lion's house. This costume is the only one that changes the color of the dagger hanging from Byleth's belt, making it match the colors of the dagger that Dimitri gave to Edelgard during the game. The first female Byleth color is a red outfit which gives her white hair, which is based on Edelgard, the leader of the Black Eagle's house. And to complete the trio, male Byleth's second color is a yellow outfit that makes his hair brown. This of course is based on Claude, the leader of the Golden Deer house. The next costume is based on the color scheme of Sothis, a recurring character that the player interacts with in Three Houses. And the 7th and 8th costumes are both based on a new power that Byleth gains during the course of Three Houses, which turns their hair and eyes green rather than the usual blue. It's a very subtle difference from their default design, but it happens in the game, so it's kinda neat that Sakurai included it. And with that, we have covered every single character that has been released as DLC up to this point. As soon as we found out that Smash Ultimate was going to have DLC, I knew that this is how I wanted the Costume Origins series to be structured. So it feels amazing to finally be able to finish off this series. Wait! Mr. Sakurai of course revealed that 6 more characters would be joining Smash as a part of Fighter Pass Volume 2, and so just like with the first Fighter Pass, I'll be waiting until every character is released before doing another Costume Origins video. Unless I think of a better way to do this. But with that, I want to thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time. Peace.